Contrast uncut, yeah, you know that's us. Where we only speak the real and the real rock with us. Where we motivate the people and politic on success. Oh no, we ain't DJ Khaled, but they swearing we the best. Contrast uncut, contrast uncut, contrast uncut, contrast uncut.
What's happening? Contrast.
What's happening?
It's season 3, episode 24. Man, big shout outs to Uncle Snoops Army and Bobby D Presents. I appreciate you, brothers. It's your host, Zylo, aka DJ Juan Dollars, like I want the money. Ladies and gentlemen, today we got two extraordinary, legendary special guests. My brother on the left of me. He's a Billboard charting recording artist, songwriter, and a real activist making a difference in these communities. Not just his, but everywhere. This brother has been everywhere. He's the vice president of Grand Hustle Records and the man behind the duo ABN, Assholes by Nature. Down below, we got one of the most true innovative geniuses there are. He's the CEO, president, and founder of BumpBoxx. He's out the NorCal, Stockton, California. And everybody know about BumpBoxx. They got everybody's favorite artist, including my brother to the left, on there. And if you don't know who I'm talking about by now, I got Trae Tha Truth to my left, and below I got Rob Owens. How y'all brothers doing today?
Blessed, we blessed. And make
Same here, blessed as well.
Yeah. You know, we definitely tied up with millions of artists. But you know, when it comes to me and BumpBoxx, that's a team, that's a family, that's the company. So it's a tad bit different with me. You know, I like to focus on the other artists with the BumpBoxx collabs and other stuff, man. So we got a bunch of dope stuff going.
Absolutely. No, and you know, I gotta ask, I seen earlier today on IG Live, you was in Lake Charles, Port Charles, helping trees that landed on houses. Rob, I know you've been productive and busy all day. What's the normal 24 hours for you guys? Like, whoever wants to go first.
Go ahead, Trae, because your schedule's super busy. Let's hear what you've been doing lately.
I mean, you know, I don't know. I just take it a day at a time, man. You know, between helping people with the music, between the company BumpBoxx, between the Trae merch, just being they call me a hero, philanthropist, activist, rapper. I mean, I'm just all over, man. Like today, I've been in Lake Charles helping all the victims throughout the hurricane. You know, they probably not gonna be back normal for at least another couple of years. And that's fresh off leaving out of Kentucky. You know, I've been living in Kentucky with Until Freedom, fighting for justice for Breonna Taylor. Definitely been brainstorming and coming up with as many ideas as we can with BumpBoxx to make sure we keep growing massively. One thing I can say, we're growing at a rapid speed that I don't think none of us necessarily expected out the gate. And then lastly, which should be firstly, but lastly, the music. I got over 2,000 unreleased records. I just got to figure out when I got time to take my music to the point where I can push it out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. You got a full plate there. You got the table to go with it.
Gotta work, man. What you got, Rob?
Oh, you know me, Trae. Always busy. You know, sometimes Trae get on me. You too busy to call me? But, you know, we do stay busy at BumpBoxx. If we always say, you know, between all of us partners, if we had to dream our lives to go a certain way, there's no way we could have dreamt it this way. So if we were to write a script or a storyline, it exceeded anything that we probably could have came up in our imagination. And it's been a true blessing and honor. And we owe a lot of it to Trae. You know, he's been a phenomenal partner. We've learned by his example. His philanthropy has really rubbed off on a lot of people here at BumpBoxx, and it's really created a good culture inside of our organization. That, you know, everything that comes in, we give a lot of it back out, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You guys are
And I
definitely.
do need, let me clarify on that too. So, you know, anything that I do, a lot of that, Rob and everybody, we always team up together and just patch up together. So that's why you tend to see even anything that I'm doing in the community, you know, 9 times out of 10, even if they're not there physically, they're gonna be there in some part, some form. You know, because at the end of the day, the reason why I feel it's so successful with what we're doing at BumpBoxx and other things, because they genuinely care. You got a lot of companies out here, bro, that don't give a damn. They don't. If it's not affecting them personally, it just is what it is. When stuff happen and Rob see me preparing to go on the front line, first thing you do, all right, well, bro, what we doing or what we need to do, or let me know how we need to step in. So from this side of your team, we can make sure we're in full support of what you're doing. So it's very, very important to us.
See, I have this segment called Keep It Real, and to keep it real, BumpBoxx is legit the most innovative, e-commerce friendly, just making it, just banging in your ears of a sound system. And from hip hop to dance halls to DJs, it's, you know, one of the biggest things. I seen DJ Fresh was one of the first people I seen with him, and that was about 4 years ago. So
But those are, I think they two separate things. But shout out Fresh, you know, it's no knock at all. But yeah, I believe those two separate things.
oh, game me up, please.
Yeah. But you know, it's all love either way it goes. You know, I did a project with Fresh back in the day.
So from the music to the philanthropy to the business, your guys' time is so caught up and impacted. Time is the most finite thing we have on this earth. And I gotta make sure I tell both you brothers how much I appreciate your time, your energy, and just coming on and rocking with my listeners and viewers.
Man, no, we appreciate you for having us. You know, one thing about us, man, we know how to appreciate stuff like that. You know, we down to earth, so we're not one of them people that tend to get out here and feel like this is old to us, or people have to even be interested in what we got going on. So no, we appreciate it.
No, I've had Until Freedom on the show, my son and Angelo Pinto, and you know, I've definitely seen you working close hand in hand with your brothers in Tamika, and just occupying Kentucky. It has been a true inspiration and motivation to do everything we can from where we're at. If you brothers and sisters can get out there and really push the line and make a difference in society from your movement, why can't we continue that same energy?
Yeah, you know, and you know, man, so you know, they're my brothers. One, you know, so I'm living in Kentucky right now. You know, they just announced today we can have a verdict as far as next week if the cops gonna be indicted or not. So, you know, we still pushing the line. Actually, you know, me and my son, we took 2 days out while we were in Kentucky and did a whole complete album. So that's gonna be coming out soon. Just, you know, I felt like it was something that we need to do just because with us living there, us just being for my children. I feel just the culture needed right now. It ain't too much reality out here. And if you pay attention to social media, a lot of people pages change from a lot of stuff they got going on to what's going on in reality. So, you know, I felt like it was something that was definitely needed.
Absolutely. I have a quote. Let me know how this quote relates to you guys, or if it does, I want you guys to talk about it. I want to hear from you first, Rob. My quote is, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Frederick Douglass.
Yeah, I mean, easier to build strong children than to mend broken men.
To repair broken men, yes, sir.
To repair, yeah. I mean,
yeah. Go ahead. I said, you said strong children and what, Rob?
Oh, yeah. The quote is, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men," by Frederick Douglass. And my question is, what does the quote mean to both of you, Rob first?
I mean, for me, I feel, you know, I do come from a biblical background, you know what I mean? And I was always taught as I was growing up, you know what I mean? To raise your children up right, you know what I mean? Because once they get to a certain age, it's very, very hard to change the stuff that they've seen, the stuff that they've done. So and that's why education is so important. Even with everything that's going on now in our environment, I think that a lot of the money that's being that's being, granted by the government for certain things, they're missing out on the children. I think that we lack the proper education of our children, and they're learning so many things from places they shouldn't be learning it from, when they could be teaching this stuff from such a young age, pouring into the system more and teaching our kids young, bring them up right. And then I think that's the only way we could change this world is starting with the youth.
Trae, OG, what's that statement mean to you, that quote?
Repeat it one more time.
All good. It's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Frederick Douglass.
I think in general it is honestly easier to mold and guide and create dope children, because what happens is, man, a lot of people go through a lot of experiences, whether it may be trauma, stress, or just dealing with hard times, to where that may build that shield or build that brick wall, that pain, that frustration, that anger, that moment that make them want to just spaz out and lash out, when we could have prevented it by taking them moments with the kids, or taking them moments to guide them, or even just trying to understand the child, and just make it a better situation for them. Because what happens is, sometimes you can get to a point where you're so far gone, it ain't no bringing you back. So definitely easier to guide the little homies,
Absolutely. I feel like right now it's so important that we peer people's minds, because everyone is born with a pure heart, pure mind, until parents and atmospheres pretty much guide the way how they're going to view things going further. And I really feel that it's important that, we put all the emphasis, energy, and time more than anything into our kids, into our communities of children, so that we can really have the problem being resolved at a much earlier part of children's lives, of seeing what's wrong, versus as we get older, we're trying to convince people what's wrong.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. That's why I'm always hands-on so much, being a big homie I'm supposed to be.
Absolutely. No, the evidence is there, brother. The evidence is there. I got to ask both of you brothers, this is my, we're about to get into pretty much the history of you guys, and I want to know, did the game choose you, or did you choose the game? Rob?
With me? Oh, go ahead, Rob.
No, go ahead, Trae. You first. You take this one, and I'll come in behind you.
I was just gonna say, I believe with what we do in life, everything was already written in the book by the man up above. So I would say the game chose us in any aspect. We can, because I can get out here and say what I want to do and what I am, but that don't mean everybody gonna accept it. I can't call myself the truth if that ain't what the people decided. I can call it all I want, but next thing you know, they could be like, man, I ain't trying to hear that. He ain't the truth. But when they choose you, and and it go the way it's supposed to go, then the streets speak for you, or not even the streets, just the people speak for you in general. I didn't name myself a hometown hero. I never named myself Trae Tha Truth. Trae is actually my name. The streets added that to me, you know what I'm saying, just for what I stand for and how I am. So I believe the game chose us.
Hell yeah, facts.
Yeah, and I believe the same thing. If I had this, everybody uses this word organic very loosely nowadays, and with BumpBoxx, and Trae will attest to this, everything that's happened within our company and our organization has been organic to the finest. We have not pushed. We have not forced anything, and everything just keeps falling in place. Even when you think that something else couldn't get better, I mean, it just falls into place. And I think it's because we're not forcing anything. And I think that's really important.
Absolutely.
That's a fact.
Because, when you get genuine cause, you get genuine reactions. When you have genuine quality, you have genuine results. What would you guys consider your first confirmation that entertainment and being into this industry is what you guys are supposed to do? What would you consider your first confirmation?
Well, I would say the first confirmation was when I first made the prototype with my friend, and we were using shoestrings to measure. I mean, that's how the whole. I mean, if you really someday I'll get into the whole story, but we use shoestrings to measure at this time in my apartment on a few too many beer night, and I posted after about 2 weeks of messing around with this thing. I posted on my Instagram, and E40 had reposted it. And the next day, he said he had about 700 direct messages asking where they could get this thing. So it was at that moment, you know what I mean, that I knew we were really onto something. And then when me and Trae met, I had no idea. I'd be honest with you. I wasn't very much up on the Texas hip hop scene, but you know, he told me, he said, you know, and Trae is very humble. He says, you know, you might not know who I am, but you know, I'm the king of Houston, king of Texas. And so when I got off the phone with him, I went and checked, and he was. And I told my other partner, I said, this dude, you know what I mean, really wants to work with us. And you know, Trae was taking a chance on us, and we were taking a chance on Trae, and it ended up being. We can't now, after being in business together for 3 to 4 years, we couldn't think of a better person to be in business with than Trae.
Absolutely.
And in 4 years, we've never caught Trae even with a sliver of something that wasn't untruthful. Like everything he says he's going to do, he does. And anything that comes out of his mouth, you know, you can believe what he says. And you can't look at many people in this world and think that. And so, like, my hat's off to Trae on that. You know, never has me guessing. I always know what's up.
That's affirmation. King Truth, what would you consider your confirmation that, you know, this is what you're supposed to do? What was like the first, like, where you like, man, this is it. This is what I need to keep on striving for.
In which aspect, bro? 'Cause I got so many parts to my life.
But you know what? All those parts are intricate. They all tie in. Plan A ties into Plan B. Plan B ties into Plan C. They all go hand in hand.
My older brother, you know, he's doing 2 life sentences. He definitely. I started rapping because of him trying to follow. You know, everybody follow their big homie. They follow their older brother. I was following my older brother. You know what I'm saying? But I think I was 12 and I did my first freestyle on a karaoke tape. And just everybody around the hood was amazed. You know what I'm saying? So I just stuck to it, man. And then when I put my first album out, I believe in '99, it just caught spark. And then, you know, even through then, just me as a person, I think just people just, they fuck with me all around the board just because I was genuine and I was just straight to the point. I was direct. You was either going to get black or white with me. It was never going to be a gray area. It's either I'm all the way with it or I'm not with it. And it's that way to this day. Rob will tell you, it could be some business ventures that come in here, know right out the rip. I'll be like, I'm not fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? And I think people just tend to appreciate that because they know you're gonna get something solid and genuine out there. And I just think all around, man, for some reason, the way people took to me and had love for me, that just let me know, even if it wasn't the rap, I was just supposed to be here doing something in general.
You know, you guys could probably both attest to this. There's 2 R words that, you know, really helps with everything going on. It's relationships and it's why I forget the other R word. Damn it. Relationships and reputation. Because, you know, you have to have the reputation of doing it all. And it's rehearsals. Let me run this back. Kev, cut this out, my producer. So the 2 R's that you got to have in your life is relationships and rehearsal. How much has relationships and rehearsals affected both of you guys in your progress to success today?
I'm not familiar with what you mean by the rehearsal. Relationships, I'm probably top 5 in the industry with relationships, if not the top 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing people will tell you. Our relationships, and it's not just rap. You may see me at one moment with any rapper you can think of. One day I may be with Nas. The next day you may see me with Andre 3000, maybe Big Boy from Outkast. Then you may see me with Dave Chappelle. So it's like my relationships is something way different. Rehearsal, I'm not really, you have to elaborate what you mean, because I don't tend to rehearse nothing, man. I tend to just live for me. Yeah.
I mean, to a degree, rehearsing is, you know, getting ready for a big moment, preparation. When I think of rehearsal, I think of preparation. And, you know, all of the accolades you've been able to come across, it just can't rub me the way other than you prepared for this stuff. It just wasn't you woke up and threw some water on your face and it was go time. And, you know.
One thing I can say is I never rehearsed for this. But what I do know and what I know the reality of it is, a lot of experiences that I've experienced in life, that was God's preparation for where he had me going. But that was never a rehearse, because sometimes stuff I go through, I question, like, well, why am I going through this? And I may just think it in my head, and I may not get it at that moment, but later on with something else aligned, then I could be like, oh, well, this is what actually made me strong in that situation. So I think that was more on God. It's never a rehearsal with that, because I do actually just take it a day at a time. You know what I'm saying? I never knew I was going to be saving people's lives in hurricanes all the time, or going out there ready to risk my life for fighting for justice or anything else. Like, I take it a day at a time. Like when I got shot, man, 3 people got killed. I walked away. I healed myself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still here to this day. So evidently God had a different plan for me at that moment. So that's why I say I feel like it's more of everything he got that's leading up to what's going on now. But it was never rehearsed for me.
No, thank you, brother. That was a real testimony. Rob, let me know. How does relationships and rehearsals work for you? Does rehearsal not make it?
Well, I think relationships are very important, you know, and I'm learning that even more that I met Trae, because if I don't check in with Trae, you know, once or twice a day, then our relationship really isn't important in his mind, and I'm starting to learn that from him. So it's helped me in my other relationships, even my relationship at home, relationship with my friends, my father, etc. So, you know, relationships are important even in the business world. You know, you can't just go to somebody and ask them for a business favor if you haven't talked to them in a week to ask them even how their day's going. So I think it's very important, you know. It's just like back in the old days, if you needed to borrow a weed eater from somebody, and you're like, man, I haven't talked to this dude in a month. I'm going to look real slimy if I ask if I can borrow his weed eater, but I ain't checked on him, ask how him and his kids are. So relationships are very important. On the rehearsal side, I guess my rehearsal would be going back on my life. I left high school in the 10th grade, and everything that I've learned personal life and in business life, I've had to learn the hard way. I never learned the easy way. So I think learning everything the hard way taught me a lot, because when you lose something, when you're trying to learn, you'll remember that mistake and you'll try not to make that again. And so I really love learning the hard way. And you know, even now I still make mistakes that, you know, I wish that I hadn't made. Some really dangerous and dumb, stupid mistakes. But, you know, if you learn from it, then you're a better man. And so that would kind of be like, instead of being a rehearsal, it would just be all the hard knocks in my life and learning from every single mistake that I've made along the way.
Oh yeah, the long route will get you the views. You'll always get a good view on the long route, but it takes you a lot longer to get around. And I'm a firm believer that relationships will get you places money cannot.
Very true.
Yeah, but the long way, you got to understand, the long way is more beneficial for people like us, because when everything else goes and fade away, our longevity and our experience of what we experience is going to have us here way longer. Because some people can come and go overnight. You see what I'm saying? But just us going through what we're going through and taking the long way and in the long run, in every aspect. You can lose and bounce right back. We'll figure it out. That's all from experience.
Yes. I say you can't base yourself off your age on life. You got to base yourself on experience. And you know, one thing I've learned from my experience, eating well keeps your mind right, keeps your body right, but it allows your intuition to be at a high frequency. Have you guys had moments with yourself with, you know, where you guys can attest to how your intuition plays out to your success? And I really feel like eating right allows your mind to be clear.
What do you mean? Just like going with your gut feeling?
Yes, sir. And sometimes if we eat bad foods and stuff, you know, I don't feel like we can get our gut feeling the right way, that intuition, the spirit talking to you.
I think we use that in a lot of situations, man. And I can speak for me and Rob. We use that in a lot of situations because, you know, sometimes our gut feeling may be like, man, this might not be the one for us, and we may see something later down the line that was confirmation of, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have did. I'm glad we didn't do that. Or it may be something like, shit, we can take a chance. We don't necessarily know, but our gut telling us, like, let's just give it a shot. And it can work. So, you know what I'm saying? It definitely going with your intuition, the gut feeling. It's not always going to be correct, but it's definitely going to give you some type of help in a situation. Because being blindsided, not knowing nothing, not even feeling nothing, you don't know what's going to happen.
Come on. You get sacked when you get hit on that blind side.
Actually, I'll give you a little insight on that. You know, me and Trae, we had a little situation with something, and Trae's all, hey, my gut's telling me something's wrong, bro. Something's wrong. And I was like, man, I'm feeling good about this, though. I'm thinking this is going to be the right thing. And I should have listened to Trae's gut at that moment, because I kind of went against that, and we didn't give it much thought and put us in a real bad pickle. I mean, we kind of, you know, actually I dropped the ball on that one because I didn't trust Trae's gut more than my own. I didn't give him the respect that was due in the decision making, and it kind of puts him in a little bit of a situation. And so, you know, sometimes it's good to not just test your own gut, but if you have partners involved, you really got to listen to what everybody's feelings are in the situation.
Absolutely. Because, you know, as brothers and, you know, business partners, it can be challenges. It can be ups and downs, highs and lows. And, you know, the main thing is seeing the bigger picture, seeing what's real, seeing what's really making a difference on the market. And you guys' product is definitely doing that. And what are some of the highs and lows that you guys have faced so far with launching BumpBoxx and, you know, just pretty much pushing the line?
I want to clarify something. I think another reason why we are, and this is probably one of the high moments that helps us. Another reason why we are where we are now is because it's more family. With me and Rob, it's highly more family than it is business. Meaning, at any given moment, we both can walk away from whatever behind standing for what's right or behind our family. You know what I'm saying? As far as each other. Because it may be a decision I may make that everybody in the world may not agree with, but as my brother, it's like, shit, he gonna be like, we gonna rock out. I mean, whatever come with it, we prepared because we family, and moments like that are definitely high moments. That's worth more than money or any other situation. You know what I'm saying? And if you're looking at it from a business aspect, we've definitely had a bunch of highs and a bunch of lows. You know, we had moments where we'll sit up and we'll be like, damn, man, like, it's not moving how we projected it to. And we have moments where really everything as of recently, last year or two, it's just been to the point we can't stop or sit down because it's just constantly going. So we have a lot of highs, and we don't really have many lows, but we have a lot of highs. But the lows we do have, you know, we prepare for it, we take it on the chin, and we bounce back every time.
Rob, you got anything to that?
Yeah, you know, I can attest to that. That's a fact. You know, we've had some really low times, but it seems like every time we have a low, a double high comes in right behind it. So, you know, I think that we're moving the right way. We're moving the proper way. We've turned down a lot of deals at BumpBoxx with other companies, with other artists that might not align with us, or their values might not be the same as us. And it's okay to turn it down because we really want to work with like-minded people and people that want to work with us, and we want to work with them. And it seems to be working out, you know, just fine that way. And there's nothing out there. There's no dollar amount that can get in the way of me and Trae's relationship. You know, we're family, and you know that's what it's always gonna be. If BumpBoxx went bankrupt tomorrow, me and Trae's still gonna be family. So, you know, for that, that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. Come on, relationships. What's one thing people got fucked up about the industry?
Okay.
One.
Oh, did you guys hear me?
What you say?
What's one thing that people got fucked up about the industry?
What's one thing people got fucked up just about the industry?
Yes.
They think everything, and they think everything is real. That a lot of these people be portraying and saying, and a lot of that shit just ain't genuine. It's not solid. It ain't concrete. You know, a person can get out here and say whatever, and the rest of the world gonna believe it. And they have people out here doing stupid shit, or just, you know what I'm saying, just the way they make stuff so believable just ain't it. You know what I'm saying? That's what got the game messed up, because now you can't tell who's solid and who's not. It may be somebody solid, but you may think they fraud just because the first 5 people you experienced was super fraud. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. And for me, I always say do your research, because anything I see on the internet, I'm not going to believe it until I thoroughly researched it, because there's so much stuff out there that is just, you know what I mean? A lot of people portraying that they're this or they're that, or that this news is real news, and it's gotten really out of hand, you know? So, you know, I think it's important to make sure that you know where your news is coming from, your sources and everything like that, because I see even celebrities, I see them reposting stuff sometimes, and then you see them take it down because it was fake news or something. You know what I mean? People are so quick to believe stuff.
I've even done that a couple of times.
You know, so it's important.
I think we all have. We all try to look for sources, and you know, once that source becomes unreputable, then we be like, we can't look on that site no more.
Yeah, because you know it happens that way. I mean, I've had to, because my fans are a little different. They're gonna get in the comments and tell me like big bro, you need to take that down. That ain't what that is. And then I'll be like, well, fill me in. And when they go to filling me in, they'll be like, oh man, you know what I'm saying?
Now I'm gonna let both you brothers know the whole dynamic, the whole common denominator of my show is success stories. And you know, I come from a poverty-stricken neighborhood as well as probably you have and you have. And you know, one thing that's common for us is that we don't see too many people making it out. And you know, I've been a victim of being afraid of success. And you know, success can have pressure. It can have all these things. If you're the 5th person that's in your group and all other 4 of y'all is broke, you know, you're trying to break that cycle of not being the broke one, the 5th broke person in that group. And so I thought of this idea, this show, pretty much digging into the success stories of everybody so that they can hear, you know, a common ground that they can, one, skip over or jump over that speed bump, that pothole in your blueprint or your blueprint, and, you know, they can grow from it. And that's pretty much the basis of my show and why I have made sure I had to have you brothers on. I've been on Uncle Snoops Army and Bobby D Presents about getting Trae Tha Truth on here for a while. And then, you know, I've been on Barbara and Patty as well about getting Rob on here. So I'm just very grateful to have you brothers on, because your guys' success story is a true testimony of overcoming and understanding your true gifts, your true talents, and taking it somewhere further than where you think you can.
So we salute you, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. No, thank you. Before I wrap up, I want to ask you, brothers, man, what's next? What are you guys working on? You know, what's next for BumpBoxx? I know you guys.
Hold on, my pager's going off right now. Hold on for a second here.
Flat out. That's our gold mine right there too. You know, we own the rights to the pages now, so we got a whole bunch of different stuff going, and they fly off the shelves in every bit of a few hours, you know what I'm saying? Some cases, minutes. So that's something major. We got a couple more. I'm one of them type people. I don't really care to leak everything, so I'm gonna leave it on Rob if you want to tell you. But just know, if they thought they seen our presence from this point, from when we first started, our presence is probably gonna really become dominant in just a second.
Yeah, I mean, I might give a leak here, a couple of leaks, but we currently right now we're working on, over the past 3 months we've been working on about 50 different licensing deals. We have a license. Our first license deal is going to drop probably in the next 30 days is Death Row Records. So we're going to be coming out with a Death Row Records themed BumpBoxx, a Death Row pager. And around the same time, we're also going to be dropping ABN, Assholes by Nature products. We already dropped an ABN pager. We sold out in 6 minutes, and it was that fast. So we have a lot.
Forget, we got the Snoop Dogg box out right now, in case you don't know.
Yes.
And we just released the Jabberwockies box yesterday.
Whew.
Oh, and we had the Cookies box, but they sold out.
Cookies box, that one sold out too. But we got Cookies 2.0 coming out. It'll be the Ultra. It also comes with a smell-proof Cookies BumpBoxx backpack that the BumpBoxx actually fits inside of it, so you can wear it on your back if you're going to go to the beach. Some people like to wear them while they're riding their bike, etc. So that's going to be also another nice collab.
Wow.
And I might leak one more real quick. We just secured the license for Biggie. So you're going to see the King of New York coming soon.
What's some of the challenges you brothers face getting licensing?
Well,
that's in his hands. I don't deal with that one.
I'll tell you what, it can be very challenging. You know what I mean? You can deal with an artist and their management company or the person that holds the rights to the license. And some people are very proud of their artists, which they should be. But you might take a celebrity that's done X amount of record sales and X amount of merch, but you got another guy that's done 10 times the amount, or a female that's done 10 times the amount. But the person that's done the lesser amount wants a lot larger royalty rate. You know what I mean? So sometimes, and it's hard. You don't want to say, hey, well, we don't think your artist is worth that, because we never wanted to knock anybody. You know what I mean? So you gotta play the game very respectful. And sometimes it's okay to give a point or two extra if you need to secure the deal and just to show them that you value them, because then they'll work with you a little bit better. So it's always good to be bendable a little bit. You know, you got your firm lines that you stand upon and what's right, what's wrong. But at the end of the day, if you can show people that you can negotiate, show people you can compromise a little bit and meet them somewhere, and you'll be able to have a better working relationship. Because if you don't have a relationship with that person, you're just saying, okay, we're signed on the dotted line, we're using your name now. You really don't have a relationship, and the thing's not going to work.
It's Contrast Uncut. It's season 3, episode 24. Man, big shout outs to Uncle Snoop's Army and Bobby D Presents. I appreciate you, brothers. I wouldn't be able to do incredibly dope shit like interview BumpBoxx CEO, president, and founder, and King Trae Tha Truth, H-Town legend, and talk about the history, talk about BumpBoxx, talk about so much innovative things and the things that they're doing in the streets right now to make a difference. Thank you, brothers. I appreciate you coming on and rocking with us. It's been an amazing opportunity and an incredible time.
Every verse I'm going flip mode, squad bust a bus. Feel like Pac and keep your head up. Biggie shooting juicy. Coach is still alive, just let me prove. King, nigga. Everything that you do, baby, I salute you. Every dream that came true, it's all cause of you. Everything that you do, baby, I salute you. Every dream that came true, it's all.
Man, I know you guys can't smell this right now, and I ain't talking about none of that other stuff. I'm talking about some of that good stuff, that smell good stuff. I think it's breakfast. What time is it? It's breakfast time. Make sure you tune in to Contrast Uncut no matter what you're doing. Whether you're eating breakfast, you're smelling good food like I'm smelling, or if you're smelling other stuff, we're good to watch too. Make sure you tune in. Thank you.